So in response to the Batman v Superman trailer leaking online before its debut in cinemas, Zack Snyder has opted to release it officially. So like always, let's take a look at some of the things you may have missed. Now bear in mind, because this did leak early, some of this stuff I'm going to point out has already been mentioned. Also, as always, beware of potential spoilers and the fact that I could very well be wrong about a lot of this. Not that I've ever been wrong before. Though if I'm being honest, I'm pretty hit or miss. Starting off, we get a mix of different voiceovers, spouting their opinion on Superman post Man of Steel, seemingly paralleling the news reports we saw in The Dark Knight Returns. The most noticeable one is Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, talking about devils coming from the sky, or whatever. A few of the others of note include Holly Hunter, whose role has yet to be disclosed, and what sounds like Charlie Rose and Neil deGrasse Tyson, the former of which was asked to comment on his involvement in this film, and he declined to do so, stating that he's sworn to secrecy. So really, that's a yes, he's definitely in this. I'm assuming this statue here lays at the center of where Zod's world engine battered Metropolis flat. I couldn't line up any of the buildings from Man of Steel, but the fact that it's in a mostly open space, like that of Ground Zero, makes me think that this is the case. This Superman statue is also something we've seen before, through leaked on-set photos. That really gives us a sense of scale for this whole area. Jeremy Irons as Alfred gets a run, saying that's how it starts, the feeling, the powerlessness that turns good men cruel. Except, he said it better than I said it then. Now, seeing as this shot lingers on Bruce Wayne, it can be assumed that he's talking about him specifically, as having his parents murdered is what set him on a certain path. I feel that this could also be applied to Lex Luthor, who often is made to feel inferior to this man from the sky who can essentially do anything. Of course, this line could equally apply to Superman, or anyone, really. But speaking of Superman, it looks as if this film will emphasize that he's a superhero of the world. We see him in a couple of different locations outside of Metropolis, including him here, in his bright new suit, holding a Russian spacecraft in what looks like a launch gone wrong. Also, and I'm not sure what this is about, these soldiers bowing to Superman are sporting his emblem on their arms. But on the topic of Batman, I got some stuff to say. First of all, this shot here looks totally amazing. Love the suit. I might be wrong, but I feel like there might be some slight padding to it, which is fine, whatever. Like I said, it looks great. Now, a few people picked up on this here. We have Batman standing at a distance holding something, and in the foreground we see a Riddler-esque question mark. A no doubt intentional nod to the character, and potentially a hint at his appearance in future films. This shot here, Batman up on high. Whenever he does this, I always wonder why. Seems like a real effort for you to get up there, and for what? To look cool? You're already cool, Batman. You don't need to impress us. Anyways, unless this is the top of the tower, I think he's actually holding a rifle. Again, very reminiscent of The Dark Knight Returns. It should be noted though, in that graphic novel, he doesn't actually kill anyone with it, because Batman is not a murderer. But I think he might be in this movie, because this scene here has the Batwing gunning down two people. And I can't see how they could have possibly survived this. No one is walking away from that. Is this Batman a murderer? If so, that's a very weird choice to make. Of course, we don't actually see Batman in the plane, so it could be being controlled by someone else. Perhaps this is one of the misunderstandings that leads to the inevitable Batman v Superman showdown. And speaking of said showdown, we get Batman in his armored suit with his new voice, which now seems electronically altered. And even though this appears to be the start of the fight, his armor has already taken some damage. This indicates that he's probably used it before, which makes sense. This is an experienced Batman, meaning he's probably gone up against some heavy hitters in the past. Maybe even the likes of notorious DC villain, the Polka Dot Man. Oh man, what I would give to see him in this gritty, realistic, Batman is murdering people world. That's about all I caught from this one, but if you liked this, I've done a whole bunch of videos covering things you may have missed from recent trailers, including the latest teaser for Star Wars The Force Awakens. Also, I'm releasing this weekend an animation done in collaboration with the amazing Sean Willits that brings to life the cancelled Batman vs Superman movie from 2003. I genuinely cannot wait to show everybody that. Also, I have a podcast called The Weekly Planet, which comes courtesy of comicbookmovie.com that covers movies and TV shows and comics. We'll be talking this trailer in more depth this Monday. All of those things I mentioned will be linked below and at the end of this video. What did you think of the first Batman v Superman trailer? Opinions seem divided at this point, so I'd love to know your thoughts. Also, if there's anything you feel that I've missed, please feel free to mention that below. Alright, thanks everyone. Take care.